Hi dear audience, hope you would be fine. Today in this short video we would be talking about the concept of noism, and we would be also be discussing whether the world is moving towards that state of noism or not. Basically noism is a coined word which stands with the from the no and ism. uh, it refers to the one's ability when one is doing to do something particularly, but he lacks the knowledge or he could not perform that. That's called the noism. As we are interested in that post-colonial theories and the literary theories, so this is our central question: that is the world moving to the noisms? For example, we live in the feminism, we live in the Marxist world, Marxism, we live in the post-colonialism, we live in the structuralism, post-structuralism, and deconstruction. Although deconstruction does not end at ism, but it also more or less stand with those theories. So we also have a long history of these isms, means when these terms have not been coined, still these practices have been were working on the word as well. Means even in the if we take the things from the Marxist perspective, even in the age of that barter system, when there was not the currency and when the world was not so much globalized, even at that time those who were having money and those they were in power, and those only the kings and the queens, they were considered from the above of the law, because they were holding the economy. And the states who were great in economy, they were holding that politics of representation, and they were holding that decision power, and they were considered what now the imperialists are the word of the first economy are considered. And similarly, when we talk about the feminism, the movement of feminism came into on that political ground in 1880s. But even before this, the initiation of this movement, the world has been divided into that two gender representation. One was the male and other was the female. Even when we trace back the history of this feminism, it goes back to the birth of Adam and Eve. Means still, though the theory was not there, this ism of feminism was not there, but this theory was there. Are the practices of such theory of this theory were there. And when we see that of the colonization, the colonialism, this colonial process started in 17, more a refer we back it to the arrival of the East India Company. It was in 1739. But before this, the Muslims and even the colonial process has been happening even in the Great Britain. When we see that to the age of Anglo-Saxon, we see that uh, Anglo-Saxon themselves was the colonizer, because they invaded over there. But when we teach the history from the English perspective, we just make that nation was very brave one. They landed over the land of England. But my question is that when Anglo-Saxon arrived over there, was there not a single person residing over on the state of London, on that the land of London? Definitely, there were people. They might have been. There is the possibility that these Anglo-Saxons might have colonized those people who might have been residing over there. Similarly, when Vasco da Gama arrived in that America, and in India as well, when the English people arrived in India, they were the population as well. So they served as the colonizers. So, before the arrival of this theory, this colonization, the process of colonization or colonial process was existence in the world as well. But then we have a grading system. First, we say the colonization process. Then we named it as post-colonial. Then we named it as imperialist. Then we name it as orientalist. Whatsoever, we have a long history of this, and politics of naming as well. And in that history of feminism, we call that feminism, first wave of feminism, second wave of feminism, feminist, radical feminism, and Islamic feminism. All that we have a long a list of namings as well. Similarly, in the definition of Marxism, we have Lenin Marxism, Marxist feminism, Moism, which is practiced with that theory of the Marxism. But my question is that this word is possible to live beyond these isms? So, means when the word would arrive at this conclusion, at this stage when these theories would be unable to be practiced upon. Unless we are divided in these theories, definitely I do not agree that these theories are not giving facilitating the right. Yes, definitely the feminist theory has substantiated the rights for the woman. Colonial theory and the post-colonial, they have given the concept of freedom and the self as well. That Marxist theory has given the consciousness of the class struggle and that. Yeah, but is this possible that, or is this the right time that we should have to move beyond these isms? Should be politically equivalent, democratic. As by living with these isms, we are not safe. Still, you can see that America is the biggest democracy across the world, but still, what she is practicing over the world, and she has generated a lot of half of the world against her. Similarly, the same is the whichever society is there. In England and America, in the Western world, you see that one is the haves and the other is the haves not, and they always remain in that situation of the conflict. So, though we have moved along with these theories towards that of modernization, civilization, all that, but still, this word is not saved from its other binaries. For example, Marxists are still afraid of that. Capitalists are afraid of Marxist and communism, and male are still afraid of that gender. Feminists are still they are weird, or afraid of that of the male chauvinist. So still word is divided into binaries. So my question is that my suggestion is that this is the right time, as this discourse is very discursive for themselves as well, though it raises the consciousness, but it further divides the society into its halves, and it maintains the fears among these binaries. This is the right time that we should have to raise our consciousness through discourse, that word has to move towards that of noism, where one have the ability to talk and even to practice as well, but it should be collectively, not not segregated one or the divided one. When the East and West would stand on the one forum and one stage, then there is the possibility. When male and female would stand on the on the one angle, though it's not possible, but that can be dragged to equality as well. So equality is possible uh, through the discourse as well. So this word discourse have to move, should start an initiative towards that equality, even though unequity. That would be the safe word for all of us. With this, goodbye.